So this is a position to help you understand lumbo-pelvic control. So the lumbar spine and the pelvis, how that interacts to get more awareness and movement through there more consciously. So the hands underneath your shoulders and shoulder width, your knees underneath your hips and hip width. So we're not forward like this or back like that. That's the main thing. From here, the chin comes in a little bit, and the back of the head and the back of the neck go up towards the roof. So we've got this activation as if there's a line or a rod going through your head, out through your tailbone, where your back is straight. So there. So often people do this with their head dropped this way or collapsed through the shoulders. So we're actually pushing through the arms, up and back with the head and the neck, a sense of reaching out with the top of the head. And the back is just straight. We want that. So the focus here is my lower back. So if I let my belly sort of drop or the lower back arch, it makes this motion here. If I curl it the other way, it makes there be a curve through the lower back. So this here, excessively in this position, especially when we do squats and lunges and things like that, or bending to pick things up, can be not a very good position for the back and cause a problem because the hip flexor dominance. Or when we go into position here, where it starts to round here is usually the worst. It puts a lot of pressure on the disc, and some muscles don't want to work in the deep part of the spine. So you want a neutral spine, which is kind of in the middle of being too slumped, too rounded, where your back's kind of flat through here, or a little bit tucked that way. So it's definitely not going this way. All right, so there's just a slight curve or flat there. And the first part is you're just aiming with a mirror. So you're looking at a mirror. I'm looking at the camera here, but you have a mirror on this side of you. And you just play with that motion. So you can see what movement is happening in your back and your lumbar spine until you get a sense of the feeling of, you know, where that position, that middle bit is, that neutral spine, where that is. So you play with it being too excessive this way. Where's the middle? Once you can see that in your body, it's a feeling of what it is, then look away or close your eyes. Play with it, see if you can get it to that right feeling in, right spot. Have a check, yeah, that's right, or it's too much that way or too that way. So it's worthwhile spending about 2 minutes just playing around with that to get a better feeling of awareness through here. Once you've done that, what you can add into it is where you sit back. So I have that neutral spine through here, and I just bend through the hip crease here. So what it looks like is I'm just sitting back like that. That's all it is. What you're aiming to do is that you don't lose the neutral spine here. It means that your body has to bend from the hip itself, from the hip creases. So it just goes back. If you do this wrong, it'll look like this. You got to sit back and your back rounds out. That's not good. Or you got to sit back and your body goes yoink into here and it sits back there. So we don't want either of those. Means your body is not able to control this part of the movement, and it's really important with squatting and picking up motions. So I'm just going back. Once you get it, it feels like this is the easiest thing. What am I doing this for? Okay. When you find it hard to do, it means you definitely need to practice until you can do it. Usually people do, they go back. The pelvis that was neutral goes into this rounded motion as they go back. Okay. So use a mirror to check that out for you. Practice about 2 minutes there as well.